The last fortnight has seen fresh claims and transfer pricing adjustments being made on India's biggest MNCs like Vodafone and Shell. And what's reflective of the growing aggression by revenue authorities, transfer pricing adjustments in India have more than doubled in the last 1 year alone, bringing to the fore several big questions. Are government authorities justified in chasing MNCs for unpaid taxes? Or is the pitch getting unduly shriller at a time when growth is slowing down and revenues are dwindling? Joining me to debate that is indeed a very eminent panel. Anuradha Dutt, partner at DMD Advocates and also counsel for Vodafone, joins us on a link from the capital. Partho Das Gupta, partner at BDO India, and Sudhir Chandra, former CBDT chairman, join us from our New Delhi studios. Deva Tanjaria, executive director at PricewaterhouseCoopers, joins us here in our Mumbai studios. And S. Gayatri, the member of the CII National Committee on Direct Taxes, joins in on a link from Mumbai. But before we begin our debate, I had a chance to speak earlier with Mr. Mohan Parasaran, the man much in news these days for being appointed the next Solicitor General of India. I began by asking him why we've seen this sudden spurt in claims.
See, because of increasing international transactions, there has been lots of foreign investments which have been coming into India, and that is why actually naturally several issues concerning transfer pricing has to arise in view of the increase in the number of international transactions.
So that's very well, but how do you explain the doubling of the adjustments, the value which is in fact, I believe, more than the aggregate of all of the disputes in India for the past 6 years?
See, because of lots of issues which have arisen, and see, the law is fast developing, and new branches have come in, including see tax law. If you see, not only several international transactions are subject to scrutiny by means of transfer pricing proceedings, but also see TDS and other matters, and therefore there has been a lot of increase in the proportion of litigation across India and in various high courts as well.
So, but is this not a worrying trend?
Worrying phenomenon in the sense that actually whenever a dispute which has international tax ramifications are concerned, it also involves actually the interests of the foreign investors who want a quick redressal system. And the way I think we are going, I think there's a lot of pendency in various high courts. In fact, I was just told even yesterday that for tax matters in the Bombay High Court, the tax bench has been requested to hear only pending admission matters. They are not having time to hear final hearing matters because lots of admission matters are piled up.
Mr. Parasaran, what would you say to those who allege that all of this aggression really is a part of the Revenue Department's bid to improve collections at a time when growth is slowing down, and there's really tremendous pressure on officials to get the revenues flowing?
No, I think a sort of a wrong impression has been created as though there has been an aggression. In fact, there was a lot of, I think, cry after the retrospective amendments, even though I think that was also done in haste. I have said in several forums, possibly, and the government has sought to rethink on those issues, and now we are eagerly awaiting as to what it is going to do in the upcoming finance session, during which the budget session, during which the finance bill is going to be passed.
So essentially you don't agree that this is true, that this entire perception about the Revenue Department is not actually accurate?
I don't think so, because see, these cases naturally involve high revenue implications, and therefore will have to naturally come under closer scrutiny of the Revenue Department. Therefore, high tax-paying assessees like the department resorting to proceedings for a regular assessment under Section 143, subsection 3, these cases also would actually involve the scanner by the department, and therefore I think they are given a lot of publicity. Even if some sort of a survey is done, I think it tends to get a lot of publicity.
So, but is there enough clarity in the laws and our officials in the transfer pricing department, in the revenue department, really equipped enough to gauge the kind of complexities that MNCs face, the environment in which they're functioning, the sort of global scale and the complexities in the business environment? Do we have officials who are really, in tune with all of these issues?
See, initially I would agree with you. I think now the department has actually gained lots of experience in the light of several transactions which were under their scrutiny, and I think they are acting in a haphazard manner.
Okay, but so there are calls from industry to bring transfer pricing norms in line with OECD countries. How critical is that, and is that going to happen soon, according to you?
Yeah, that is a policy issue, and it actually are being considered by the government, but there are other models as well. The government, I think, will take a final call. It will not actually ignore the demands of the industry, and the government, as it is, has been quite conscious about the sensitive nature of so many things happening. And it is also equally concerned about FDI, foreign direct investment.